The first thing the little girl did after being reborn was steal the $5 million her grandmother had secretly stashed away. She took her mother and bought a remote piece of land, because she clearly remembered that on New Year's Eve, the man would bring his new lover home and force her mother to leave with nothing. After that, her mother would work multiple jobs just to survive, until she eventually died from exhaustion, and the little girl would be left with the man, living a life of hunger and abuse, eventually dying at their hands. Perhaps heaven took pity on her and let her return to a few days before the man brought his lover home to prevent the same tragedy. She told her mother the truth about the man's betrayal, but her mother didn't believe her. So the little girl took her to her grandmother's room, picked the old iron box open with a hairpin. Inside was the money her grandmother had hidden for years, but her mother scolded her and told her to return it. The little girl explained, all these years her mother had silently supported the entire family, while they treated her like a servant. Hearing this, her mother's eyes filled with tears. Then the little girl told her that she would die from overwork a year later. Her mother broke down, fearing no one would care for her daughter after she was gone, but the little girl promised she would change her mother's fate. She took her mother to a real estate company to sign a contract, and bought that seemingly worthless land, because she knew its value would soon skyrocket. The day before New Year's Eve, the grandmother came and asked the woman if she had prepared the New Year's Eve dinner. The woman hesitantly said her husband hadn't come home in a long time, and asked if he might have someone else outside, then said she wasn't in the mood to cook. The grandmother held her hand and assured her she still had family by her side, that she would help prepare the meal together. But a moment later, the grandmother claimed her back hurt and went to lie down. Even though the woman knew she was faking, she didn't expose her. Instead, she asked the grandmother for money to buy supplies. The grandmother handed over $200 and went back to rest. It was only then that the woman realized this family never truly cared for her. Soon it was New Year's Eve. The woman pretended to be sick and suggested ordering a meal for $200, but the grandmother refused, saying outside food was unsanitary, then told the woman to take her medicine and go cook. This time the woman refused, and asked why her sister-in-law couldn't do it. The grandmother replied her daughter had given birth to a grandson, while the woman had only given them a money-wasting girl. This finally pushed the woman over the edge. She asked if she was expected to serve everyone forever. The grandmother stood firm, saying her daughter could earn money, while the woman just spent it. The woman then admitted they never saw her as family. The sister-in-law snapped, told her to know her place, and demanded she go cook immediately. But the woman calmly walked over and flipped the entire dinner table over. At that moment, the man walked in holding hands with his lover and their illegitimate son. Before the woman could speak, the man asked for a divorce and announced that the boy would be living with them. The sister-in-law was thrilled because they no longer had to sneak around behind the woman's back. It was then the woman realized everything she had prepared was just to welcome her husband's lover and child. To protect her daughter's future, she agreed to divorce, but asked for 1/3 of the family's assets. The grandmother immediately refused, saying all the money would go to her grandson. To force the woman to sign, the man grabbed the little girl and threatened to sell her to a rural village if she didn't agree. Left with no choice, the woman signed the divorce papers, then left